Hi guys, recently I'm preparing for a JavaScript interview. So I saw some questions online and I wanted to prepare. So in this video, we'll only go through 10 questions. So video will be short. Initially, I will try to answer the question which we are seeing right now. If there is any coding required to explain that, I will go to code editor, online code pen, and I will try to explain it a little bit more clearly. If I don't know something, I will just check the answer. These answers are toggle. So there are already answers which I got from some source and I added it here. Mostly I will try to be as concise and as brief as possible in explaining, so it will be easier for you to understand and it will help me also in my interview so I can do better. Okay, let's get started. Our first question is, what is JavaScript? I think it's basic question. Let me construct something in my mind. JavaScript is a very popular scripting language. It is used to add interactivity for web development. Interactivity to web. So we are using JavaScript. It is mainly used to add interactivity to web. Okay. Recently it became very famous. Right now we are using JavaScript in backend also. Initially it started as a to add interactivity to web development. Yeah, I'm not able to properly construct. Okay, let's see answer how it's defined. Okay, JavaScript is a high-level interpreted programming language, primarily used for front-end web development. Okay, I should have said front-end web development instead of web interactivity. Okay, it enables dynamic content on website, interact with users, and can be integrated into various environments. JavaScript is essential for building modern web application and supports both object-oriented and functional programming paradigms. Okay, I think the thing I missed is I didn't specify what are the advantages of JavaScript. I just said that JavaScript is useful for front-end web development to add interactivity. It would have been better if I added JavaScript works on OOPS concept and functional programming paradigms. I think we can do a little bit better with that. Let's go to second question. Explain the difference between let, const and var. Okay, I think this is basic question which is asked in most of the interviews. Previously I attended one interview in which I was also asked this question. But okay, let's see. Let, const and var are keywords which we use to define variables in JavaScript. So let and const are the new type of keywords which are recently came ES6 is EMAScript 6, which is this latest version of JavaScript. So var, before we used to create variables in JavaScript with var. In JavaScript there is a concept called hoisting. What does hoisting do means it will before the code runs, it will take all the variables or all the functions declared in format. It will take them to top of the scope which they are, and run from there. But there were some problems because as var was defined in that way. To overcome this, two new keywords are added, let and const. So let's see. Main difference is hoisting, and var is functional scope. So in a function, if you define a var anywhere in that function, the whole function is accessible with the variable which is defined with keyword var. But let is block scope. So there are some code blocks, example for loop, if block, for loop, while loop. So if there is a variable which is defined with keywords like let and const, those are only accessible in that block scope. I will show you example in my code. Let's see. Let's take an example for variable. What happens for a variable? I want to define a variable named test, but instead of defining directly, I will console that variable because I will define that variable with var. Okay, var keyword test. I will assign a value of something 20, and once again I will console it. Not log test. Let's run this and see how it comes. See, right now where for first one it came undefined. Second one where we assign the value test 20, and at the third one, third line, second console.log test, we got 20 value. Okay, so what happening means why we gave an undefined. Posting makes the var test go to top. So at that time for JavaScript, okay, it knows there is a variable test, but it don't know the initialization, the value which the variable got initialized with. So test is initialized with value 20. So for in starting it gave test as undefined, it's not value not defined, not initialized, and next test is given 20. Okay, let's now say if I define that var with test, var with let, if I define the same test variable with let, what happens means we'll get an error. Yeah, see, we get a reference error. You cannot access uninitialized variable. So let is not hoisted. So variable let from where you are created, it will start from there, and will the initialization on definition of let will go from there. It will get hosted. It won't go to top. So directly it will be reference error. Okay. So another word is const. Const is also same like let. Block scope, its scope is block. It is also a new keyword created in ES6. The specialty of const is once you assigned any value to the variable which is defined with const, you cannot change it. You should not change it, and you should initialize the const as soon as you define it. So let's say you cannot be like const test and later test equal to 20. So as const variable you cannot reassign anything, it won't take the test. So as soon as you define any variable with const, you have to directly assign that variable 20. So then it will be const. There's a small thing you have to have an idea that in const variable, if you define an array or an object, so JavaScript takes array as object. So directly, let's say an object, you can directly change the property values of object. So let's say I have an object which is having a property name fun equal to okay, let's go to a little bit more practical here, equal to 2023. I can assign it. Okay, let's remove the top one. Right now I can change test dot var equal to 2024. This will change the value of year. Okay, see, but same thing, let's say this is not an object, directly I am telling test equal to 2023. Right now we'll get an error. Yeah, attempted to assign to read only property. So const is a read only property, so we are getting that error. So these are the main differences between var, let and const. Let's see what was the answer. Yeah, functional scope, as we talked, var is a functional scope, let is a block scope, let concept. Okay, I think I have very good example which I can show you. Let's say I have function sum, just don't take any variables. I wanted to show you something, right? Let a equal to 5, and if true, I wanted to show you block scope also, so that's why I created a specific if block. So var b equal to 5. Now just say console.log a plus b plus b, and let's initialize the sum function. Clear the console, run. See what happened, the variable b which we defined inside a if block, but also the whole function I was able to use the variable b. So that's why it's called functional scope. Where is the functional scope? So let's say I change the var to let. Right now I will clear the console, I will run it again. cannot find variable b. So as you see, this is a block scope. Let is a block scope. So sorry, block scope. So that's why we are not able to access the variable b with in this function only. Yeah, I think this will give a clear example what is functional scope and block scope. Block scope. Sorry, my pronunciation mistake. Yeah, let's go. How does hosting work in JavaScript? This is also one of the key questions, I think, as we are discussing with let, const and var. Hosting means in JavaScript, taking the JavaScript will take the declaration of variable and function to top of its scope, top of the scope at which they are, and make them assigned before interpreting the code. So what is the use of, there are some uses of hosting, there are also a little bit disadvantages. That's why let and const keywords came. I will show you one thing with functional hosting. This is console.log. I want to create a, sorry, I forgot console spelling. I will create a function sum. Let's say it will take a comma b as instead of a comma b, let's just create a sum function. Later function sum, what happened here, sum console dot okay, already I'm console dot right, return 10. Let's just return 10, no need to purchase anything. So let's run this, what happens, let's see. Okay, you see we got return 10, right? You know one thing, JavaScript goes interprets the code line by line. So it will first come to this, next it will come to this. So initially function sum is not defined, but it got the value which function sum returns. So do you guess why? So this function is getting hosted. So we are creating this function with function keyword. So that's why this function get hosted, will go to top. Same way as I said before, variable let some variable be equal to 10. Same, this variable b also will get hosted and go to top of its scope, but that initialization will not go. Only the declaration of variable b will go. So that JavaScript know, okay, b is declared, b is a variable, I know, but I don't know its value. But JavaScript interpreter will be like, okay, I know there is a b somewhere, it is initialized somewhere, no problem for me. So this is hosting mainly. Let's see what is the answer there. I think it will be little bit more yeah. Variable hosting and functional hosting. In JavaScript, hosting is a behavior in which variable and function declarations are moved to top of their containing scope during compile phase. Yes, as I was saying before, code get interpreted before the code has been executed. This is concise explanation. Okay. Variable hosting, when you declare a variable using var, the declaration is hosted to top of the current scope. However, the initialization is not hosted. If a variable is declared and initialized at the time of hosting, the variable will be assigned the value of undefined. This is important point, guys. If you are, I will upload this PDF. You can download it from description. You can see, you can also read it. The actual initialization takes place at the line where it was initialized in the code. So as I was showing you, var is defined later, before it shows undefined, later it shows value. Function hosting, function declaration hosted on top of the scope, including their implementation. Yes, same I was saying. Yeah, this is something same which we talked before. Yeah, I think okay. Number 3 is okay. Describe the concept of closures. Okay, I think I can show you a little bit of example, but let me think how I will explain to interviewer, right? Closure is nothing but a function is having its scope, its parent function scope. Yeah, these two, right? So what happens means, let's say if you defined a function inside a function, that function parent function is there, child function, where child function is the one which you are defining, it is closure. What happens means, child function will always have access to the scope scope means the variables which are declared and the value of variables at that particular point of time in which they are in parent will access to that. So I will show you simple example. Const. Okay, I will write something new. Function, outer function. Let's say it will take a variable, outer variable. Inside this function, let me create another function. Let me call that inner function, or we can make it as parent and child, no problem. Inner variable. So what we will do is console.log outer variable okay. So I created function, inner function is child function over the outer function, no problem. So let's say I'm invoking that function const checking equal to outer function and where outer. Okay, so right now what happened, if this line of code executed, let's say if this line of code executed, the outer function executes, it will take value for the variable outer variable as outer, and it will assign and it will come inside this scope of the function outer function. And so sorry, I should return that, I forgot to write return, and this function will get returned assigned to the checking, right? So once that get assigned to checking is now a function because we are returning a function, inner function, right? Checking is a function, same as this one, it will take inner variable as parameter. So right now see checking, let's say parameter is inner. Let me clear this console and run it. Okay, you see what happened here. Starting, we declared a function. Right now the function didn't execute JavaScript didn't execute the function, so don't worry much of what's happening there. Let's say initially outer function is called. As soon as this is called, this function will get executed. Outer variable is having a value of outer. It will come inside. It will return the function inner variable. Here, it will return a inner function assign it to checking. This checking will have inner function, and this inner function will have access to the scope outer variable which was declared for this one. So let's say if there are multiple, let's say I'm asking, so const checking 2. Yeah, so right now you see both outer, this function particularly holds it. We don't let's say sorry guys, this is a small example where you are seeing just one line of code, but let's say when you are doing a web development and there are functions which are dynamically getting generated at the time, this function is holding the scope and holding the value of variable outer variable in it only. That's why this is called closure. So every time this checking 2 is getting invoked, it will save this. It will remember sort of that outer 2 unless we refresh the page. Yeah. So this is closure. Let's see what's the definition of a closure in JavaScript is a function that has access to its own scope, the outer function scope, and the global scope. Yeah, okay, every function will have access to global scope, right? Sorry, my mistake. It was dumb of me not to say. It also has access to variables from its parent function even after parent function has finished execution. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, his example is same as mine, mostly same. You can check it. In this example, inner function is a closure that is returned from outer function even after outer function has finished execution. Inner function still has access to outer variable. This is fundamental concept of closures. They are powerful because they allow data privacy and function factories among other things. Data privacy, I think we are not able to see what outside variable is containing, right? So I think that is called data privacy. I don't know specific inside it. Explain event loop in JavaScript. Event loop, is it talking about normal for loop? No, okay, I don't think that's that. This is like how execution works, like how execution works. So let's say JavaScript is a linear code interpreter, so it will start interpreting from line by line. So JavaScript contains some properties called stack, queue, and event loop. Yeah, I think they are talking about this only. So stack will be the line of code which should get executed line by line. So in our code interpreter, if we write line by line, those are all in stack. So if a function there, in the function the line of codes are like in stack. First line is one in stack, second line another one in stack. So one by one, it stack goes on execution. And queue are something which it should get executed. So let's say there are some functions in JavaScript which are time dependent, like set timeout, set interval. So set timeout is a function which will execute it after certain time. Set interval is a function which will keep on executing at certain interval. There are also other functions to clear them, to remove the set timeout and set interval which are already set. So what does the set timeout do? Set timeout and set clear interval do? They want to add to stack. So the function which set timeout should run should also go to stack. But I think it directly won't go. So if they say stack keep on running in middle, set timeout is there, it will directly won't act to stack. It will go to queue. And event loop will check if stack is clear. Then it can it move the functions which are in queue and go to stack. So at that time it will go to stack and stack will execute that line which is in set timeout. I think this is what happening. I don't think my wording is correct, but let's see the clear example, clear wording. In JavaScript, event loop is a system that handles execution of multiple chunks of your code over time, each one running to completion. It gives the illusion of multitasking, but in reality, JavaScript is single-threaded. Here is a concise explanation. Stack. JavaScript initially processes statements that are on stack, initialized by user like function call. Yep, same as we thought. Queue, as I was saying, queue, it is task queue. When an asynchronous operation is called, like set timeout, Ajax call, and DOM events, the callback function is sent to task queue once the important operation has been completed. Event loop. JavaScript engine checks the stack and the task queue. If the stack is empty, it takes the first thing on the queue and pushes it to stack. So as I said, event loop will check the stack and the process repeated continuously. That's why it's called an event loop. Oh, okay, I guess this is a very good example which I should have thought. Okay, so console.start and these are in. Okay, see, let's see. I think everything is in stack initially. So it will go to this line, start, it goes to stack and execute it immediately. It will come to this line. At the time it sees that okay, the set timeout is there, and after that some code is there. It don't know what is that code, so it will directly say okay, after 5,000 milliseconds, right? So after that I will execute and it will add this to queue. It goes to stack. At the time it will add this function to queue. And then it will continue with the stack, next one send, and after the whole stack completed, or if it sees that particular is satisfied, it will come and it will execute it. Yep, I think that's the explanation. In this example, output will be start, end, and callback, because callback waits the task queue until stack is empty. This is fundamental concept of event loop in JavaScript. I don't know what will happen. Let's say if there are multiple callbacks and there's a clash between callback 1 and callback 2. I think okay, at that time it will wait until the oh no, not callback 1 callback 2. Let's say same here, I set timeout 5,000 milliseconds, so after 5 seconds it should run exactly when 5th second completed, but stack is still executing some other function which is also big. It's also time taking. Let's say there's a big array, it should keep on looping it. At that time, what will it do? Will it wait the whole loop to complete it, or will it just execute this set timeout and then continue with that the big problem which it is doing? I don't know. I will check out. Guys, if you are also having time, check out and let me know in the comments. Okay, this one is a little bit basic on JavaScript, and it's better to know this one also. What is the difference between equality and strict equality? This is called strict equality. So in JavaScript, everything it stores in database as bytes, right? So you know in coding mostly those bytes. So let's say what happens means, so for it 1 are same. So actually this is one is a representation, right? For it in some bytes it shows the it stores the how it should represent it. It won't store how data type also. So this representation is stored. So it will just like this is not strict equality, just normal equality. So directly it will check this representation in bytes and okay, yeah, both are equal. So it will. So let's say I've done it. Yeah, true. So it will like okay, this both bytes representation is equal. So let's say I will make it true. That's what happened. I think true and true will also be true. I didn't check every time, anytime, but yeah. Oh, I think it is not true because it might have code should have run already. Okay, sorry, I think this is not true. Okay, I think this is something you should learn. But normally, strict equality will just consider the bytes representation. So if we are having this type, it will make it both equal to. So this is little bit tricky. We should keep an eye on. So there is something called strict equality. This is before the double equality is equality. This is strict equality. It will check type of that variable also. So right now it will see both are one, okay, but it is integer type and this is string type. So it will like okay, this is not true. This execution is taking so much of time. Yep. So this false. Yeah, as I said, strict equality and equality. This is the main difference. The difference between equality and strict equality lies in type of comparison they perform. Okay, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. Double equal to is equality operator known as loose equality. Okay, I think I'm pronouncing it correct. Sorry. Triple equality is identity operator known as strict equality, loose equality and strict equality. It compares two values for equality, and before comparison it performs type coercion if types of operands are different. For example, type coercion, same like as I'm saying, it will compare bytes, so it will not take into the consideration of which type of variable that is. Same with strict equality, it compares two values, but unlike a loose equality, it does not perform type coercion. It checks both value and type, so will return false because this type of left operand is number and right string. In general, recommendation in JavaScript to avoid unexpected results due to type coercion. Okay, let's go to next question, guys. How do you check the type of variable in JavaScript? I will repeat the question. How do you check the type of variable in JavaScript? I think most of the people know. In JavaScript, you will check type of variable using type of. It's a inbuilt function. You can directly type of an in function as a parameter. You can send a variable for which you want to check the type. main confusion will be as we are defining variables using var, let or const, so they can be interchanged. So var test equal to 1, var test equal to string something, var test equal, you can change it to boolean, string, or anything we want. Further goes on. So type question is there. So type of, so at particular point of time, if you want to check variable and get confirmation that okay, this is still in integer only, by mistake somewhere I didn't change it to string or boolean, like that. How do you check type of? Yeah, type of. But there are some limitations for type of, right? Yes, it won't check null, I think. Yeah. Let me show you something. Type of, it's an inbuilt function, so it will automatically recognize it. So type of 1, type of true, boolean, right? Type of string, let's say true. I will create an object. I will create an array, const arr equal to array, const obj equal to object, and let's just initialize test. It is initialized, right? But I will equal to null. Let's check how type of comes for everything, right? arr obj and test. So we should be having integer, boolean, string. Okay, is there any mistake? It is not running. I think for array it will give object, as JavaScript considers array as also object. Before, in some situation, I think I talked in this video, okay, object is object. For null, I don't think it will identify null. I don't know what it will show, but I don't think it will identify null. Oh, sorry, I forgot to include console.log. I serious mistake of mine. And I was here thinking seriously, what happened to this code pen? Why is it acting like this right now? It's taking too much of time. Okay, let's see what. Okay, type 1 number. Okay, it won't take integer. Okay, true, boolean, string, object. Okay, but JavaScript type of checks null as also object. I think this is a very big thing. If you want to check for objects, you have to be considerate. We have to take into consideration that if there is a null also, then it will show that as an object. So the only way we can check a null is directly if loop, I think. So there is no inbuilt function. So if we have to write test equal to null, then console.log test is null. Please don't scold me for my naming conventions. I am very bad at test is null. Okay, at that time only we have to equal to. Okay, so this question is like that. Let's see what's type of operator. Yeah, same, nothing more. Oh, for null, okay, I didn't thought of undefined. For null object, as we bug in JS, type of null returns object. Okay, no problem. It is a bug, I don't know. I didn't thought, I thought it's considering null as also object. But this undefined is very cool, right? Undefined outputs undefined. I didn't thought of checking that. Okay, array is also object, right? So there is a inbuilt in array.isArray to check if an object is array. So I think it's also good. I also forgot regarding that. I was focused on null. I forgot undefined and array. So this is guys, array.isArray you can use to check if that array is an array or not. Okay, let's go to next one. What is the use of this keyword in JavaScript? this keyword, this keyword is reference to the object which invokes that one, right? Which invokes that function. Let's say, yeah, like that I will say. Yeah, you can say that only, reference to the object which invoked in a function. Let's take const object equal to this one, a equal to 5, b equal to 10. We have a function, some function. So right now we are only having two properties, so directly some function you can directly write object dot a plus obj dot a plus obj dot b. You cannot write a plus b. You cannot write a plus b. Can anyone guess why? Try to guess. Mostly I think you can guess it. A and b are not in that scope. Okay, that's the answer actually. But let's assume there are too many variables. Their object name is big. You cannot go on obj dot a, obj dot b, right? So this keyword you can directly return this dot a plus this dot b. There's some other mainly this function. I think this won't show you that much of particularity of this keyword, but there are some function in which we will be using objects a lot. At that time this function will play a very crucial role. It is very important to know what this will do. I am not able to explain it properly. Let's keep it here. Obj dot some only, right? Obj return this object add is not a function. Okay, this one, sorry. It should come 15 and 15 plus 5 20. Yep, yeah, this is. Let's check the answer, guys. In JavaScript, this keyword is a reference to the object that invokes the function where this is used. Yes, we told. It provides a way to access the properties and methods of the object within the function. I just took one object in A and B. He is taking some modified. In the display car function, this refers to car object. It is used to access make and model of the car. However, value of this can change depending on context in which it is used. Okay, this is very important, such as in different type of functions, regular, arrow, constructor. Okay, and methods. This is regular function. There is a difference between regular function and arrow function. Let's talk that later when we have time. There will be some definitely questions which and methods call, apply, bind. Okay, understanding this context is crucial for using this effectively. Yeah, I get it. Okay, let's go to next question, guys. Explain the difference between function declaration and function expression. I will spell it again. Explain the difference between function declaration and function expression. Function expression is sort of like const testing equal to function, const sum equal to function parameters a comma b, return a plus b, like that. I think I sort of know. See, let's see what happens means function declaration is having hoisting, function expression don't. So in start of the video, I think when I'm explaining hoisting, I told that I want to write a function sum, which will directly let's assume it will return something. Function sum return 10. This function, this is normally invoked with function keyword. It will directly get hosted. It will go to top, and it will give the value 10. But same is not true for the function we defined using expression. Yeah, sorry, mistake. Yeah, uninitialized variable. This will take as uninitialized. This is the difference between function declaration and function expression. Yeah, function declaration started keyword function syntax. Function expression assigned to a variable. The function cannot be called before it defined. Yep, same as we talked. Okay, what happens if it's a var keyword? Right now I'm using const, right? What if it is a var? Oh, even var sum is hoisted, it will know sum is there, but it won't know the initialization, right? Sum is initialized after sum only. I think it will show it is not a function or something like that. Yeah, sum is not a function, sum is undefined. I think this one is a very good thing to know. Some of cliches. Same one. Okay. Let's go. How does the set timeout function work? As we discussed before, there are some predefined functionalities in JavaScript which work on time based. So set timeout is one of them. It will take some parameters, function, delay, and some arguments. Mostly people won't use the arguments. What it does, after that particular delay, it will run that function automatically. So we want, let's say we want a timer. For after 10 seconds, I want the timer to buzz something. So set timeout is something we have to go. So it will just take 10 seconds. Set timeout will start. After 10 seconds, that function will go on. So let's say in function I'm writing some alert message. Alert will show. So that is basically set timeout. There is something called clear timeout. So if we invoke a set timeout function, then it will return an ID. That ID is useful to clear out the set timers which are predefined. So normally 10 seconds and 10 seconds and 5 seconds are little bit of short duration, which are not a problem. But let's say there's a big duration 1 hour and you want to cancel it and clear out, because any set timer function which are declared and which are running or taking a process in our in our computer. So we will usually clear them out. Global window object. Okay, I think this is a good thing to say. Method of global window object. It is used to execute function specified piece of code after set amount of millisecond delay. It's part of JavaScript timing events, which also includes set interval and clear interval. Yeah, before I told you set interval is function which will keep on repeating after certain time. As I told, set timeout takes some arguments, function which you should call after the certain timeout, delay, how much delay, and arguments. Function delay arguments, delay in milliseconds. Don't forget the delay should be in milliseconds. 1 second is having 1000 milliseconds. Yeah, set timeout is called in this way. Set timeout, function, and delay. Mostly people will use the arguments as I said. Hello message after 3 seconds. Yeah, this one is important to know. It is important to note that set timeout does not block the rest of the code from execution. JavaScript will continue to execute the lines of code and will run the function from set timeout when the delay is over. This is a reflection of JavaScript asynchronous nature. The set timeout function returns a timeout ID which can be used to cancel the timeout. As I said before, clear timeout cancels that set timeout in that way. So I guys hope you guys enjoyed. Before I ask some questions, I think you also will think of that. This is one part of the series. I still have so many questions. In next part of the video, I wanted to make this video a little bit short. The next part of the video, again I will follow up with the next 10 questions and same. I will provide this document up to here on how answers are written there. You can also check it out.